These are central issues. The issue is therefore not race. It's not religion. It's about opportunities. It's about justice. Why are people angry? Because they are unemployed. Now with this pandemic economy, there is a projection of at least 1 million unemployed before the end of the year. Right now it's about 860,000. Who are speaking on their behalf? We hear major impressive pronouncements about what could be done, what needs to be done, what has been announced. Now people are happy, of course. You get 40 ringgit or 400 ringgit or 1,000, everybody's happy. But the amount being squandered by leaders are billions, and this needs to stop. 2016 World Bank survey revealed 27% of Kuala Lumpur households earn less than Bank Negara's estimate of a living wage. In 2018, UNICEF study of families living in low-income housing found 99.7% of children living in relative poverty. One of the indicators of poverty is malnourishment, which at early ages can cause lifelong deficits in learning and cognition. Is that not our concern? Is this affecting Malays? Yes. Bumiputras? Yes. Some urban Chinese? Yes. Indian estate sector or the urban sector? Yes. The Dayaks, the Kadazan? Yes. But what is the effect? There are children stunting increased from 17.2% in 2006 to 20.7% of all children below 5 in 2016. Does this mean that we have not done anything? Does it mean that there was no overall economic expansion from 2010 to 2016? There was. But growth did not address the fundamental inequalities in our society. In fact, those inequalities grow, more pronounced as subsequent generations, including your generation, worse than what we observed in the past. So, it's aggravated, exacerbated by education deficits, health deficits, wealth deficits. The obfuscation of the real dilemma of poverty was a crime. We don't need to repeat this point. Hiding behind a statistical data, well, we improved from 40% to 30%, and the Minister of Economy recently announced, well, we can resolve it in 2030. I'm sounding angry. I mean, what if it affect your son or your nephew? Do you want to wait till 2030? What difference does it make between a Malay child in a kampung or a Dayak in Kapit or Kadazan in Kundasang? Why can't you just say that we'll take whatever measure necessary and act now, and don't wait until 2030 to resolve this major problem? This is the failure of governance. And when we address purely the issue of statistics and numbers, because the numbers be impressive. Now it's 20%, in 2030 it'll be 5%, or probably 0. But that 20% have to struggle. I mean, they are our children. That's why I say, when you talk about race or religion, where's the humanity? If you talk about justice and humanity, you can mention Melayu or China. It does not matter. I don't worry necessarily. But when you talk in terms of a government policy that ignores the absolute need to act in earnest in dealing with this issue, it is clearly worrying. The Khazanah Research Institute, for example, acknowledged this. Malaysians feel a sense of disconnect with official poverty statistics. They feel that their incomes are barely enough to make ends meet, and yet by official count, we have almost no poverty in the country. Of course, they have now amended that and acknowledged after this big hoo-ha of Philip Ashton and Professor Jomo Sundram and Raja Rasya and Fatimah Kari presented a compelling case against official government figures. So let us then deal with this issue again as Malaysians, and not to ignore the fact that the majority of the Malays and Bumiputras are under this B4 category. You know, sometimes you have this debate where you sound a bit liberal, multiracial. You tend to deny the fact that the vast majority, when I talk about poverty, inequality, lacking in access to quality education, etc., affect the Malays. That is why the race card is appealing. Unless you, the young, Malays, Chinese, Indians, or Sabahans, or Sarawakian, take it upon themselves, look, this is our agenda. We are talking about our brothers and sisters of irrespective of race. We will champion their rights, and we will continue to be conscious of the majority of them. We will not be dictated and deluded by the preaching and of the leaders who continue to suggest that the only solution must be race-based, not justice or compassion. So the issue whether some race have benefited disproportionately from others can be discussed. I don't think it's a taboo. Those days when you talk about a new economic policy, it became rather seditious. Some people question. I remember addressing this issue when I was ABIM president in 1980. An organization that is probably 100% or 99% Malays, 100% Muslims. What did I say in that speech? In front of some opposition leaders, I remember Marhum Fadil Noor of PAS was there, Lim Kit Siang of the AP was there, UMNO leaders were there, Hussein Ali from Parti Rakyat, etc. And I said, yes, we do acknowledge the importance of the new economic policy and the initial attempt to address some of the problems, but we have to recognize the major flaw of the new economic policy. Social mobility, yes. MRSM, Sekolah Menengah Sains, yes. But we have also used this Malay race economic Bumiputera card to enrich the few families and their cronies. And therefore, we need to put an end to this.